It started with a tweet. And I'm actually the actual article here. So look at the article. The Wrap. Disney poised to announce major AI initiative exclusive. Studio will focus on tech efforts in post-production VFX. Jed, that doesn't sound so bad, does it? That's just tool. AI is a tool to get you done.
Yeah. This is nothing new. They've already been using it a lot. Like Secret Invasion had AI involved in its intros. So I'm surprised why people are reacting to this so much. It's a tool that can be misused, absolutely, but this is nothing new. Everyone's doing this. They're just being a little bit more quiet about it.
We saw them literally. I forget it was the end of last year, beginning of this year. When the AI thing was going on, I think it was just after the strikes last year. Disney put out a job listing hiring AI graphics design. We literally saw it with high-paying job, and we talked about this, I think, saying this is them trying to get in on a new production type of tool thing, and anybody who is smart enough to realize and go get the learning to understand and to use the new AI programs and assistants that are out there. There's an industry that you're now be a part of. You can get in and you can make some money, get a real job. That's a job, and it's just a job. So let's read this for a second, and then I want to show you some of our favorites reacting to this on Twitter. Stans. Walt Disney is poised to announce a major AI initiative that will transform its creative output. Individuals with knowledge told The Wrap on Thursday. The initiative is said to involve hundreds of people at the company and will primarily focus on post-production and visual effects. One of the individuals said it would also involve parks and experiences, but not customer-facing. So that, I guess that means programming and maintenance, I would assume.
All right.
I guess we need one of a more theme park oriented person to tell us how that might work, because you and I are
where you can use that.
That's way outside our wheelhouse. So we can only assume that. A Disney spokesman declined to comment for this story. The company insider told The Wrap that Disney was working on its own AI initiatives, but not as expansively as suggested by other sources. The insider said it was too early to say when the announcement was coming. The news was quickly traveling through the tech circles and Wall Street, even with a few details immediately available. Disney follows Lionsgate, which struck a deal with AI company Runway in September to aid augmenting work in pre- and post-production process in films and television series. Okay, I'm going to ask you the question again, Jed. Does this sound threatening at all to you?
No, not at all. I mean, yeah, we expected at this point. This is nothing new. It'll be abused because it's Disney, but this isn't anything concrete. This is a rumor at this point. I would barely classify it as above rumor or a potential leak. So yeah, these Disney stands reacting to it like it's the end of the world is just more stupidity from them, unaware of the things that they're commenting on. I don't have any fear of this. It's not going to make Disney better, and it's hard to make Disney worse. So this doesn't affect my enjoyment of Disney or lack thereof. And it's just going to be par for the course for them.
Honestly, for me, this is harmless to me.
Entirely harmless.
It's literal tech work. It's not AI writing anything. It's not AI directing anything. It's not AI creating characters and making their weird digital movie thing. That's all this is. That's all this is.
And I don't have this fear of AI like some people. So the fact that they're using it isn't a red flag for me. It's a tool, like you said. It can be used well. It can be used poorly. And I think visual effects is one of the better places to use it. Like, I don't want them writing for a long time because they're just not ready for it yet. If you can ever get to the point where the technology is good enough, maybe. But yeah, the technology is not there yet. People are doomsdaying AI, acting like it's going to take over next week. It's more a fad at this point than anything. So it's not a threat.
Yeah. And this is innocuous to me. It's just work. It's simple work. And Disney aside, if people can go make a living on this, good for you, man. Make some money. Make some money, provide for your family. Good job. But as you said, what do you think the stand reaction to this is?
Flipping the fuck out. I've already seen some of it. They're losing their minds.
And they're losing their minds because they didn't take 2 seconds to go read the article. Here's one of my favorites. I despise this individual. First of all, because he's an anti-Semite bigot. This guy has said the most horrible things about Jewish people. So I despise this guy, Mace Owindu. He's a fake fan stan. His response: F off. Doesn't actually go read the article. Doesn't we? It took us what just now? A minute. This is a couple of paragraphs. I mean, there's a little more about Bob Iger and stuff, but the actual meat of what it is right here. It's a
Yeah.
it just that's all there is.
It's
It's not
nothing. The
much.
the headline is very misleading. So
Mhm.
yeah, they're just reacting to the headline and nothing else. And
Exactly.
I don't even know if this is legitimate.
Yeah, it's
Like
a rumor.
some of these insiders are right, some of them aren't. You
Yeah,
have to take everything with a grain of salt. So yeah, these people just they don't care to do
yeah.
research. And you see that in everything that they do. They don't know anything about Star Wars. They don't know anything about
No,
these properties.
no.
It's all superficial. So this is the superficial reaction.
Yeah, and we get then our favorite wannabe thought, M. Kenobi. We like her. No, we don't. We are about to see the decline of one of the biggest companies ever created, and it's their own fault. Now, uh, there are so many
About?
about it's been declining, and it's been declining. That you, it's what we've been talking about this earlier. That's why earlier conversation relates to this. You, the wannabe thought, and everybody else who talks about this, you've led Disney to this point. You've led them to being desperate. You've led them to trying to, save money by maybe going the AI route, by doing stuff because you've supported them. You've made them bend the knee to your bullshit. So for them to say the decline, it's been declining and it's your fault. How about wow, not reading the room, not seeing the forest through the trees, not understanding the reality. So but they hate it. They hate it because they're afraid of AI. They think it's going to take away from the glorious woke writing that's happening. And then there's this guy. This guy who shares a brain with Suggsy. This guy shares a brain with Suggs. Uh If anything made by AI is created for Star Wars canon, I will wholly exclude it from my head canon and never give it any money. I will not discuss it. It will not be considered at all. I love this galaxy because of the sheer amount of artists who pour the towns into it. We just read the article. It says nothing about writing content for stories or franchises.
I want to ask this person. You said
Yeah.
you're familiar with them. Did they
Oh, yeah.
defend Acolyte particularly or anything
Yes.
like that?
Oh,
Okay.
this is a full on. This is a guy who does work with Suggsy. This is a
Okay.
guy who actively supports the Daemons. Star Wars Explained. This is a
Mm-hmm.
guy who actively pretends to. This I called him originally. He's the collaborator. He
Mm.
is the guy who says, "I love all Star Wars. I love Legends. It's great. I'm reading it," but then uses every opportunity to tell you how great Disney Star Wars is and how much better it is.
Yeah. Of course.
And it says, "Everybody, it's okay. We can love everything. We need to welcome in Disney Star Wars as it destroys real Star Wars."
Mm-hmm.
He's the collaborator.
They can't coexist.
No, they cannot. But this guy is a complete piece of shit. Somehow, his channel has like 10,000 subs, which blows
It's
my mind.
baffling.
Well, actually, I looked into it. One, he does fake lore videos. It's
Mm.
like Disney lore, and people will watch it and then thinking it's real Star Wars. And also, he leans heavily into the shorts game. Real heavy
That'll
into
do
the
it.
shorts game.
Well,
So,
for him, because you're saying he's an acolyte
oh,
defender, I want to ask him the question: hey, if we found out that Disney used AI for the acolyte, what like we've known they've done in the past with Secret Invasion, they
uh-huh.
did something like that when the acolyte. Would that change your experience of the acolyte, and would you start hating it, never watch it again, and boycott it like you're saying you would for any future product?
Mhm.
I am certain the answer would be
This
unequivocally
guy,
no.
I've seen him. He's a word salad guy. And he's also he says a lot. He says something, but it has no meaning to it. And he likes to fluff his words and he likes to pretend that he's being reasonable. When in fact, I've seen him repeatedly hop on the train of attacking the bigger channels. Jeremy, Gary, Drinker, Theory. He hops on that train immediately. And like I said, he sucks the dick of the Daemons. He was very proud that the Daemons brought up his comment on their last live stream. Very proud that they answered his question. So that's who this guy is. But
Yeah.
this is also a guy who will instantly make it political. Kind of crazy how many people consider AI a culture war issue, that they use it to fight the woke. Very strange to me that being pro artificially generated content has become a conservative trait. Wouldn't have called that 5-10 years ago. This guy just proved he didn't read The story. Again, he's just going he's talking out of his ass trying to look
Yeah.
like some sort of promoter of real talent and real people.
I've heard just as many people who are out conservatives have concerns about AI and hate its
Mhm.
involvement or its existence whatsoever. AI fear is not universal to
Yeah.
any political leaning whatsoever. Everyone has inbuilt fears of AI because of Hollywood, because of movies like Terminator and iRobot. It's
Mhm.
a completely normal thing. So, yeah, to politicize it is asinine.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe in this specific situation, he assumes anyone who doesn't like Disney is conservative. So
They
the
all
people who are
do.
like,
I
yeah.
mean, let me go back right here. Another one. Let me go back to the main here.
So it's just more assumptions that critical
You,
thinking people.
you saw it a little bit when I was showing before. Brooks, this guy, he's a real standout acolyte piece of shit. One woke teenager versus 20 Trump supporters, and he
What does
puts
that
up
even mean?
Padme when she was trying to call for a vote of no confidence. These people are warped ideologically. They think everything has to do with politics and world belief systems. They don't understand that something can just be fiction. Something can just be fiction and not have anything politically woven into it. That there's not a deeper meaning to it like that. It's a damn it's damn near maddening. But these are broken individuals, completely broken. And frankly, I look forward in the coming weeks, months, and years to watching them melt down more over various things, both in the near future and in the distant future. Because this is somebody who thinks that, and I've showed this Brooks guy. He thinks that you and I, if we see a black person or a brown person in a show, that we immediately have to run screaming into the fields, crying doomsday. That breaks us. Soon as we see a colored person, we're gonna cry and lose our shit.
Doesn't matter how many times we bring up evidence to
Yeah,
the contrary. Favorite characters, Star
yeah,
Trek with Worf,
yeah.
Stargate with Teal'c. There's no amount of evidence that will ever convince these people that
No,
reality doesn't fit their fantasy of what their people who disagree with them are.
it's the same people that think that we're gonna line up to attack gays and lesbians. That we're just waiting for a chance to do harm upon them because they have a different sexual preference than us. It's warped, and it all comes back to the fact that, like you said, they don't do research. He shows right here he didn't bother reading the article. She didn't bother reading the article. He didn't bother reading the article. None of them do their research. Their research is reading a tweet post. That's their research. Their research is their echo chamber. That's their research. They don't take the time to look at the full scope of everything. And then they will just compound it by saying, oh, it's all a part of, and let me go back here to that one. It's all ideological. It has to, you have to think differently for me. This thing has to be this way. It has to be ideologically driven. God help that you maybe have a research, nuanced opinion of something that maybe you like a little bit of each side. And I mean, like you, I have no major fear of AI. The closest AI fear I have is deep faking when it comes to voice work, because
Hmm.
that's the closest thing I have to AI fears right now. That they'll put a recording out there that sounds so damn close that you're going to need some sort of specialist to go in there and track the different wavelengths to say, oh no, this has the AI tag on it that you could see from the audio track and this and that. That's my biggest fear: deepfake audio. Other than that, I don't think that Elon's robots are gonna, start to rebel on us. I don't think Skynet's around the corner. And you think I would because I do science fiction.
Hmm.
You think I
No,
would?
I do as well.
Yeah.
But I at least research the technologies.
Hmm.
I know you're very familiar with the sci-fi concepts, and yeah, we understand that there's a difference and what's real and what's not.
Yeah. And Jeffrey's right. These are the people who tell us to go touch grass, to go out and stop pretending. These people who, as I said before, can't tell the difference between fiction and reality when we're criticizing characters.
Hmm.
These are the people who constantly push fake news stories about all the stuff that happens in pop culture than that. They're the ones that hop on immediately and cling to it forever. So I'm tired, Jed. I'm tired of watching insane people. Don't mean I'm not going to cover it and I'm not going to
Yeah,
comment on it like we did today, but it is tiring at this point because there's no saving their broken brains. There isn't.
there's diminishing returns in enjoying their
Mm-hmm.
insanity. You can
Yeah.
only laugh at derangement so many times before the reality sinks in and you
Mm-hmm.
realize, oh my god, this is how the world is. This is how these people are. There's no saving them, like you said.
This is why I take breaks in my troll spurs. You know, I take breaks in doing that. I'll go on a troll spree for like an hour because I've got nothing else to do. But then I'll shut it down for a couple of days because it does damage my brain a little bit having to look at these morons and understanding that they think they're the heroes in all this. They think they are riding around to save everybody. They think they're doing good deeds, that they're helping out people of color and help protect these kids and help save all these great franchises from the evil toxic nerd chuds. It's tiring. And I'll be glad when the day comes that I don't have to cover them anymore. I'll do it because I do get some level of enjoyment shining a light. But like you said, it's diminishing returns and of tolerability. It's going to come to a point where it's like, man, I'm shifting gears and I'm now going to full ignore. Now, I'm never going to block these people. I'm never going to mute them because that shows that I'm weaker than they are. But I can, frankly, scroll past it and not
Mhm.
stop. That I'm capable of doing, and I do it sometimes. These people are nuts, and it shows you, like you said, these are not people who bother to get the real story. They're just gonna, oh my god, these are people who thought that the strike was about protecting jobs from artificial intelligence for writers. That's
They
why they
really
comment like
believe
that.
that story, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why they do it. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.